Hello. Yes, there we go. Sorry. Sorry about that. Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. Sorry for the volume not working. Not sure what was going on with that. You were just seeing my mouth moving. So today we're playing Identity Fraud. This is a theory talk live stream. I've done theory talks twice before. It's kind of a laid back stream where talk about the lore of the game. I want to get input from you guys for my theories that I'm going to be talking about throughout the live stream. I also want to hear your guys' theories on the game as well. Let me make sure that all of the other live stream stuff is working because that wasn't for some reason. I don't think the desktop audio is working, so that's not good either. How about that? Does that work? How about now? Huh. Okay, maybe you guys heard that. But hey, what's up, Fate? Looking at the chat right now, I'm seeing what I missed. Yeah, it's been a while. So Identity Fraud kind of quit at part. So there's Identity Fraud 1 and there's Identity Fraud 2, and Identity Fraud 2 got to there's chapters in that game, and they ended the game at chapter 3. It was chapter 3 wasn't done, but the developer finally just said that they weren't going to continue it, unfortunately. So I'm in a public server. So if you guys want to join in, I know it's there, it might be full, but you guys can join into the server that I'm at. And I am going to enter in, and let's talk about this theory, guys. So you might have seen with the video title, I said, well, in the title it says Stan is real, and that's the base gist of the main theory I want to talk about. And part of the theory involves the intro to the first game, which is what I'm on, and this is the intro right here. So our main character just starts talking. I am Super Speedy 101. I have a doctor. So I actually made a theory, I think it might be one of my best videos on my channel, performing wise, was the theory that your main character in this game has schizophrenia, and a lot of the theory had to do with this intro. So guys, just a disclaimer. I'm not an expert in mental disorders, so I might get things wrong. Please fact check me if you guys can correct me on things. Someone came to me on my last that theory video on schizophrenia and told me that they had schizophrenia, that what I was explaining wasn't at all what they experience. And I think different people have different mental disorders at a different scale. So and also the developer might be portraying our character to have schizophrenia, but I don't think the developer of this game has it either. So he might be incorrectly portraying it as well. Just a disclaimer to you guys. But alas, I will make a theory on it still. So one of the big things on this intro is that the main character, I might say he, but I'm thinking of it as being myself here. People watch me. So he has a lot of phobias, and kind of, it doesn't seem like he should. It doesn't seem like the character has any reason to think that other than just being paranoid. The character is not sleeping. He just stated that I'm not sleeping. Scared of people looking at him, at the character, doesn't want to sleep. And that's okay. So the character just said, I don't want to sleep. Okay. Character is not going to easily tell the doctor why he's not sleeping. Doctor then again asks, why haven't you slept? And that's when our character tries to get out of there. They don't want to explain why. And my biggest question, well, in the past, my theory was the reasoning behind all this paranoia is that there's something wrong. He might have, the character might have a mental disorder. High paranoia, first of all. That's a big thing that seems like, but what if the character actually has a reason to be scared right now? What if something is actually chasing him, or maybe watching him? And what monster makes the most sense in that regard? I like the background noise of creepy noises in the background as we talk about this. But Stan. Stan is the monster that if it will chase you if you look at Stan. Stan will stop moving. It's kind of like a weeping angel from the Doctor Who series. You look at it, or the certain SCP. You look at it, it stops moving. Okay, and it stares at you. It stares directly at you. Okay, so this might be why the character has a fear of being stared at right now, because it's character's used to being stared at by Stan. You don't like that. It's probably just giving him a paranoia of staring just because Stan was staring straight into his soul. And the character just said in this little intro, "I can't escape." It looks like he's seen something. You know what I think he saw? I think he saw Stan again. And maybe he's the only one that can see him. I don't know. That might be another reason to say it's a mental disorder. But I actually think he's real. And I'm going to go in. It's not just this intro that, I have a lot of little pieces of evidence here and there that I'll be explaining to you guys later. This is kind of the boring part right now, and just going through this intro. So our character has like a panic attack. He's hyperventilating, fainted most likely. He just claims that he got poisoned or something. He must have poisoned me. He didn't poison him. That just might be paranoia. But let's look at the chat real quick. I don't have another screen for the stream and the chat, so this is going to be a little bit hard. Yep. Seahawks did win today. I'm actually a Seahawks fan, guys, and I'm glad the Seahawks won today. Okay, so no chats yet. No specific ones in the chat. So let's continue this little theory. So Stan, hopefully Stan. So I'm going to be playing through this. This is Identity Fraud 1. Some of the evidence will be also included in Identity Fraud 2, because that is kind of, we just kind of saw Peekaboo Stan over there. Identity Fraud 2 has a lot more of the lore. You kind of have to speculate with Identity Fraud 1, but with Identity Fraud 2, it kind of gives you a lot more to digest in terms of theories. If you guys, most of you guys in the stream should know, but if you don't know what Identity Fraud is, it's a game where, I should have started with this, to be honest. It's a game, a horror game, I'd say. Maybe it's not that scary, but it's a horror game that you traverse mazes and get to the end of the maze, and when at the end of the maze, there's a little puzzle you have to do. And then when you complete a maze, you enter another one. And in this game, there's 3 main mazes you have to complete. And at the end, you fight a boss, and that's basically it. And so there's some theories going around that the mazes are actual places, and our character is just viewing it as a maze. I don't know if it explains some mental disorder, but I don't think there's a mental disorder that makes someone perceive like just simple hallways as like a labyrinth. I think this is just for gameplay's sake that there's a maze, but people can speculate that it's part of the whole mental disorder concept too. But excuse me. With Stan, though, I think, well, I wouldn't have been able to theorize that Stan was actually real if it wasn't for Identity Fraud 2. So with my first theory, there's parts of my main theory of our character having schizophrenia. There's a part that I agree with still, and there's a part I don't agree with myself in the past anymore. One of the main things was that this game, Identity Fraud 1, is all in the character's head. So it's not actually happening. But mostly because of the intro where our character passes out and then we enter the game right after that. It's pretty obvious that the game it's probably while we're fainted that this is all happening. And it explains why there's a lot of monsters, because they're probably not real, okay? They're probably in our head, paranoias maybe of our life outside. So the different monsters you can see is Stan, Ralph, who has a really big machete, I believe it is. He kills you pretty quickly. Don't get near him. Then there's, oh man, it's been a while. Alice, my worst enemy, who's in the second maze. Alice is like a little, looks like a little ball of light for a second. So at first, for first comers, you might be like, "Ooh, it's a little light flying by." Oh, it will kill you. It transforms into like a zombie-looking person. It's not cool. Alice kills me all the time in Maze 2. Like I am really bad at surviving Alice. Also, there's a person in the server in the stream that's also named Alice. But so I haven't seen Stan yet. I'm so sad. I've seen Peekaboo Stan, but I haven't seen the model that actually chases you. So Alice, and then the next monster is James. I'm going to be talking about James today as well. James is a monster you find in Maze 3, and he chases you if you're moving. That's also going to play a part. Can you stop pressing this button? That's making a buzzing sound in my ears. I don't like that. Who are you? Thank you. Oh, they're going back at it again. Anyway, so James, and I think that's it. I believe that's all the monsters in Identity Fraud 1. And here is the kicker. So Identity Fraud 2, this is what leads into the next part of my theory, is that Identity Fraud 2, and this is what I still agree with my previous theories, that Identity Fraud 2 happens in the real world. So we wake up from our fainted, we fainted, we were out cold. This is what's happening in our head. Heard James from afar. And so, yeah, sorry, Alice, you're not in this lore video too much. Alice is such a weird monster that I just can't link it to anything. I don't know. I have a tiny thing I could say about Alice, but I'm not even sure if I can even, like, if it's accurate at all. But anyway, I'll continue. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so Identity Fraud 2 exists in the real world right after this game concludes. This game concludes, we wake up. Hey, what's up, Tack? Welcome to the stream again. So we wake up from, oh, door opens. We wake up, and who's the only monster that we... Okay, I got killed by Fraud. Oh, I forgot about Fraud. Yeah, Fraud's there. So Fraud looks like other characters that it kills, and then it only attacks if you look at it. So I'm not going to look at it this time. But Fraud is also not part of my theory, unfortunately. So we wake up, and the only monster that's in Identity Fraud 2 is Stan. Who would have thought, right? So people just believe that, from what I talked to in the community, most people just assume that Stan was just part of the character. Oh gosh, that's Alice. Well, that's not good. We're gonna die. Alice always kills me. Oh yeah, if you guys didn't see, that was Alice. Like the monster Alice, not the Alice that's in the chat right now. We're basically doomed if you see her in the maze. For me, at least. Unless you have people that you can get killed off. Like we have this poor soul here. That's actually a dead end, so I need to go this way. So Stan's the only monster in Identity Fraud 2. Where's Alice? Why is she not chasing me? Where'd she go? She's stuck. She's stuck. She might be stuck. Oh, no, she's not stuck. She is not stuck. Go this way. Go this way. Stan, being the only monster, you might assume that that's the only monster that affects in real life in paranoia. I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think Stan is real, and that's why we see Stan in Identity Fraud 2 where I believe the game actually takes place in the real world. And I might jump into Identity Fraud 2 to explain a little bit more by using some hints in the game for that. But right now, let's just continue. I'll keep on explaining it with words as best as I can. Stan only appears at night in that game also. That is an interesting fact. I mean, it's always night here, so it would also work. It's an everlasting night in this game. But in Identity Fraud 2, there's different chapters, and one of the chapters is in daytime, and Stan don't pop up in that chapter at all. He really is aggressive, though, in Identity Fraud 2. Like, he will jump scare you every, 15 seconds. So I might hop over there and try to see, get a glimpse of him there, because he is not scaring me here. I don't know what's going on. But that was one thing that always bugged me, was that he didn't show up in the day. And it kind of makes sense. It's a monster, you know? But there's also another monster, or not maybe monster, and this might be a little bit of a spoiler of why I didn't include this in the list of monsters in Identity Fraud 2. But there's a person, or a monster called Stoic. There is a certain maze that when you, inside the maze, you'll meet Stoic, probably. And, oh, that's fraud. Just don't look at fraud and you'll be fine. Stoic looks like Stan, okay? Got this, I haven't seen Stan yet, which is unfortunate, but Stan is all black, colored Roblox limbs, and has eyes that are beet red and glowy. So Stoic actually looks very similar to Stan, but it's a little different. Stoic kind of looks bug-eyed. The head is larger than it should be. I am not going to look at fraud. I don't want to be chased by fraud. And I always thought, oh, it's just to make him look a little bit different than Stan, right? What if Stoic was mimicking Stan? What if Stan is real, so people have seen Stan, excuse me, they know the description of what he looks like, and then copycats happen in real life. Murders have copycats. And what if Stoic is trying to copycat Stan with his appearance and do, well, what Stoic does is he kidnaps you and forces you into a puzzle. And it's actually a shortcut in the game if you get, because he will keep you. That is Ralph! You have to be kidding me. This is the worst server. Someone trolled us hard. Someone trolled us bad. I'm so sorry. I let you die. Oh, I'm so lucky. That was the luckiest thing that could have happened. I can't believe he didn't target me. Oh. I made it to Maze 3. Okay. So I believe Stoic is copying Stan, because Stan is a real person, or Stan is a real entity. I think Stan's a monster still. But I think Stoic is actually a human being copying Stan. I always get lost in this maze. I never remember where to go anymore. This might take me an hour to get through. Anyway, so if Stoic is real and is copying, I mean, it would make sense that if he copied fraud, or copied Stan, then Stan is a real entity. Other people can see him. He's not just in your head like I previously thought. And then that would explain, what if our character doesn't actually have a mental disorder? What if our character is just so paranoid because a monster is chasing you? Anyone would be scared of that. I would be freaking out, but no one believes him. No one believes him. No one believes our character that something is chasing him, something's getting him. And it changes my whole theory of our character has schizophrenia to our character was misdiagnosed. So yeah, that's James. He's going to be part of the theory. He only hurts you if you walk. So don't walk. I wouldn't walk if I were you. Do I go this way? I don't think I do, but I want to. I know I'm not supposed to go that way, but... Yeah, so if you're the only one in Maze 3, James is kind of a... he puppy guards the exit usually, or entrance. He's just always there, and he's always following you. So I assume I'm the only one in Maze 3 right now. So this kind of sucks. He's just gonna... He just stays near you the whole time. And he's way faster than you, so he just is always there. So yeah, so... It changes my whole theory to schizophrenia, to misdiagnosis of schizophrenia. And it kind of changes the whole tone of the game. It was already sad before, thinking that our character has schizo... I'm supposed to go that way. Wait, no, I'm not. Right? Yeah, I'm not supposed to go that way. This way. Oh, he went that way. Dang it. Okay. If I stand right here, he might leave. Here. Shoot! I think that was fraud again. Fraud waves. Hopefully that wasn't just someone... That wasn't you, Fraud, was it? Or Frauditor, the person? Oh, goodness, I can't tell. I don't believe so. I think we're right by the door exit, though. Where am I? Yeah, I know Frauditor will wave at me like a troll. Did you just get chased? Okay, cool. You're actually a real person. Thank you. Oh, thanks for doing the door. That was supposed to be Morse code, but... You're scary. That was the creepiest turn I've ever seen. Anyway, so this is actually like the end of the game here. So that actually is good. I can jump to Identity Fraud 2 to show some of the other aspects of the game that I want to talk about. But yeah, so my big theory, oh, it took me like how many years to think this one up, is that our character don't have, I don't know what he has. I don't think he might have anything. He just might be so paranoid, just paranoid to shock because of being chased by a monster his whole, probably every night. He can't sleep. And that's why he can't sleep, because Stan doesn't attack you if you look at him, right? So what do you do when you sleep? Your eyes closed. You can't. He'll get you. He'll get you. So I believe the reason he doesn't sleep, our character don't sleep, is because he's trying to survive Stan his whole life. And he probably only sleeps, if he does, in the daytime when Stan don't attack. He goes nocturnal, maybe. So this is hexadecimal, I think. I don't remember hexadecimal at all. I'm going to have to search this up, but this is the perfect time. I haven't been looking at chat. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, so my old theory was that every monster in the game represents a phobia of the character. And I couldn't, there was just some hard parts with that. Some monsters I couldn't, label a phobia. Right? Like Alice. Like, what phobia is Alice? She just chases you, right? And I couldn't really think of something for her. Hey, what's up, Chris and Shauna? That is the creepiest background sounds. And I think it's just completely random. However, so... What was I... Yes. So, the phobias with each monster, I do believe is still accurate. I believe it's some part of trauma in the character's real life that is manifesting in monsters in Identity Fraud 1 in his head. James, here's a little spoiler to my theory. I mean, most people have already theorized this, okay? This isn't new. It's because it's so obvious when you look at it. But the way James is clothed looks exactly like your doctor that you have in Identity Fraud 2, which you get to see in person in that game. Just don't have the whole crazy glowy head thing going on. You know, he's an actual person. And I agree. At first I was skeptical, but they're the same person. I think they are. And let me show you guys something real quick on the Identity Fraud page on Roblox here. I have to pull it up real quick, so give me a second. But part of my theory for Identity Fraud 1 involved one of the thumbnails for Identity Fraud. I don't have the file up, and it looks like it's the only image for the game now, which is... Oh, no. It just took a little bit to load. Okay. Yeah, you can't really see it anymore. Yeah, it's still there, though. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about right now. I just have to pull it up onto my stream. And we add a window capture, put it on top. Yeah. So I'm pulling it up for you guys right here. Overlaying it on my stream right now. But let me pull up the window again. Okay. So there's Stan. See, that's what Stan looks like. Okay, I should have just shown you guys this. That's Stan. Excuse me. That's Ralph, the one that we just narrowly escaped. And there's James, the one that is dressed nicely, just like our doctor is in Identity Fraud 2. Part of my theory was that if you look really closely, you have to like brighten up the image, but there's text in the background of that thumbnail. And it's actually code. When it took me a long time to figure out how to what kind of code it was, but it's hash MD5. And if you decipher the code, it spells out schizophrenia. And that was like the big kicker to my theory. You have schizophrenia. But now looking in the lens, if our character doesn't have schizophrenia, and this James is our doctor, okay, this could be a representation of our doctor misdiagnosing us with schizophrenia because he doesn't believe we're actually being chased by monsters, by Stan. He doesn't believe it because, you know, most sane people don't actually believe monsters exist. And I believe in this game it would also be the same. And so it's the puzzle pieces. I have no clue if this is what the developer was intending at all. He ended the game short. It's not completed. And we would probably have gotten more answers along the way. But from what I can tell, this is the direction they were going with. And I fell for the bait that our character had schizophrenia, where it was actually the opposite. Actually the opposite. Misdiagnosis. And I should actually just, because the boss battle don't matter too much, I might just jump into Identity Fraud 2. Because Identity Fraud 1, you beat the boss. It's called the last hurdle. I have no way to tie that boss monster into my theory. It's pretty ridiculous, actually. It's like an oversized statue-looking knight thing that has like looks like almost like a glowing gem or ball on the chest, and it shoots lasers from that, and it kills you. It also throws bombs in the second stage. Tries to kill you with bombs. Oh, you also kill it with a rocket launcher. So it's... I'll show you. Let's go look at this. Let's look at this. Yeah, part of the big way to survive in this stage, the lasers, there's pillars. You gotta hide behind the pillars, and you gotta find a pillar, so I found one in the dark. The last hurdle. Oh, I don't think this music is... Oh, did they... I think he took out the music. Oh, I forgot. Thanks, guys, for letting me know that Chrome is still blocking the stream. I'm so sorry. See? Small brain sometimes, guys. Look at this. Oh, see, he shot me with the laser. So this is what I'm talking about. I can't really show you for too long, but he's like a night thing, ow, with lasers that are very, very fast and bad. Alice could be the fear of being chased. Yeah, still not sure. Still not sure. Alice, I almost think it's the fear of betrayal, because goodness, I can't. Because Alice still looks like a glowing ball at first, right? And I think the intention of the game developer was that you were supposed to be like, oh, cool, maybe it's trying to show me the way, or, ooh, it's like a firefly, whatever. And you're supposed to follow it, and then it just transforms into... Goodness. Transformed. Don't hit the pillar. I can't get much farther before he hits me. Dang it. Okay. I'll let the other person kill him for right now. So I could see Alice being a sense of betrayal, and that's what I was talking about before, is that, I don't know, this could be completely wrong, but I believe Alice is the fear of betrayal, and that might be just from the people in the character's life that doesn't believe that he's being chased by a monster. Not sure. However... Ralph? Not sure about Ralph. He's just a mass murderer. Still don't know about that, dude. That was also the one I'm like, maybe just a fear of murderers? But not sure. Not sure. Sometimes, you know, you gotta take a grain of salt. Developer probably didn't think too far ahead with things and just wanted to add another monster into the game. This is stage 2, where he tries to kill you with bombs. Oh, there's also lava, and you just gotta survive on these floating pillars on lava. So if I jump into the lava, I'm dead. This game is also brutal in hard mode, because if you die in hard mode, you go straight to Maze 1. And the boss monster, the lasers he shoots, they insta-kill you in hard mode. You know, I got hit a lot with the lasers, and I didn't die. Yeah, I would have died 100... Oh, goodness sakes. Yeah, he throws 4 bombs when he's low on health. So you gotta get into the middle of where he's throwing them. Yeah, that was lucky. Yeah, again, I have no clue what's up with this final boss. Maybe it's just kind of the last... It's the last hurdle, right? And that's what its name is. So it probably specifies something, but... Probably not in a literal sense of fear of being thrown bombs at and stuff like that. So the game ends. Roll credits. I'm glad that the copyrighted music isn't playing right now, but it was a banger when it was still in the game. But I'm actually going to jump into Identity Fraud 2 now to explain a little bit more of the theory. Thanks, Chris and Shauna. I appreciate that in the chat. So we're going to be jumping into Identity Fraud 2, and that has a lot of the lore, like I was saying before. So we're actually going to jump into there. It's the better developed game, the 100%, but it's actually the less popular one. So there's like, see, you were kicked from this experience. It was nice while it lasted, Super Speedy 101. It's like something's talking to you. It's actually really creepy. But leave this game. I like how when you beat the game, it actually kicks you out of the server. It doesn't just, you know, send you back to the start screen or something. Identity Fraud 2. Let's get into that one. So there's only 8 people in there right now. Isn't that crazy? Oh, yeah, if you could see on the start page that jumped up for a second, it said discontinued. So sad. He just didn't get enough revenue from this game because it wasn't as popular as the first game, and he had other projects that were, you know, life happens. And I understand. It's just sad as someone who grew up playing his games. But he never fixed the chapter issue. So if you go into a chapter that you've already completed, sometimes it sends you to the end of the chapter, not the beginning, because of how the saves work. So I'm hoping it will send me to the start of chapter 1. But we will see. It might start me at the end of the first maze of chapter 1. That's what I meant to say. Oh, yep, that's what it did. This is the end of maze 1. So the first part of the maze, it also didn't do the whole intro of us waking up and being like, oh, we're in a hospital now. Well, how do we get here? Probably because you fainted and people were worried about you. So that's what happens at the start of this game. The same type of intro the first game has. You wake, your character wakes up, is like, oh, I'm in a hospital. Then the doctor's like, hey, you need to stay in the bed for a little bit or running tests to making sure that you're not like dying or something since you fainted. And then our character's like, nope, something's going to get me. I got to get out of here pronto. So when the nurse walks out, our character just sprints out. And the first maze is supposed to be the hospital. And it's a maze, so it's not like an actual hospital, but it's the hospital that we're leaving from. And there's actually x-rays. I talked about this in one of the other theory talks I had a long time ago. And it has x-rays. And it also has a date on it. So we get a little bit of a sense of what year the game is in. And if I remember correctly, I'm going to try to go to it, but I think it was 1972. If you guys, even if it's not exactly 1972, it was in that ballpark range. If you guys don't, I think this might be it. Yep, here we are. Has a date right here. Oh, goodness, it wasn't 1972. It was 1964. A little bit earlier in the world, but yeah, I was a little bit off. Wow. Okay, 1964. So this is when the game is taking place. It's a time where mental disorders were kind of not treated too well. It's kind of the age of just suck it up, or if you had something wrong that you weren't going to ever be able to fix your issues. And I don't know if that was a psych ward era or not, but I think it was. If it wasn't, it was pretty close to that era of when you had mental disorders that were affecting your life. You would just be sent to a psych ward, and the quality of life there was terrible. They would do shock therapy and stuff like that actually damaged you sometimes. So not good stuff. So our character probably don't want to be diagnosed with schizophrenia, especially I think that was the time where schizophrenia was very misunderstood as well. Schizophrenia is still something we don't quite understand, like fully. We don't understand most mental disorders fully. Otherwise, I mean, we want to find like quote unquote cures, or at least be able to help people with those disorders. But alas, harder than everyone would like. So this is actually good that we got through probably maze 1 quick, because Stoic is in maze 2, and this is maze 2. It's a grass hedge maze. I believe this is a public park. Okay, remember how the hospital is just hallways like this as well, right? Don't go that way. So I believe this is actually a public park, and this is where Stoic takes his victims, okay? So I know it don't look like a park, it's just hedge, but game's sake, there's a maze, and also it seems like a public area in front of the hospital. And I'm just going to assume I have a flashlight. I can't believe I haven't been using that. And this is where Stoic is, and if you hear him, he'll be like, you'll hear him if you hear him, but it's kind of like a clicking noise, I think it is. Repetitive clicking noise, and it just gets closer and closer. It's actually kind of scary. And when he sees you, you actually start running faster. But it's actually part of my theory too, because in chapter 2, okay, chapter 2, we actually go back to the hospital. We go back, but it's in the daytime. And so right now we go through this maze, but in chapter 2, to get back to the hospital, this maze is actually blocked off with police tape and police cars. So most would assume, I assume, that it's because they got reports that someone's probably kidnapping people in this park that looks like Stan. And, the police, I don't think they like that. So they close it off and try to get Stoic arrested and in jail. And that's actually probably what happens, because spoiler alert, chapter 3 in this game, we actually get sent to jail because we another small theory for this one, but our character seems to think we killed someone. It looks like we killed someone. I think it might be a narrative trick, a narrator trick, that we can't trust exactly what our character is seeing in front of us. Like, we're in a maze right now, but are we actually in a maze? Or are we in a park? So our character kind of attacks someone. Attacks him with an axe. Not good. Not good at all. Very bad. Don't do that. Bad thing. Bad thing to do. Very bad thing to do. Goodness. Anyway. But it's part of the mental disorder, I think, just paranoia of monsters just chasing him. He saw it as a monster, and it's actually a little trick to the player yourself as well, because you have the axe. You're the one who goes attacks this monster-looking thing. And then the camera changes from a third perspective view, and it shows that it's not a monster. It's a person. And so you get sent to jail. And in the jail, actually, you can look in one of the lockers. There's a bat. And I haven't explained it, so you wouldn't understand why that's important, but I will explain it now. Stoic, that chases you in this maze, he has a bat, and that's what he chases you with and knocks you out with. So that adds to the theory that Stoic got captured. He's in jail with you now, in that same jail. That's what it's kind of pointing towards. And yeah, Stoic was kind of the main evidence point I was taking from Stoic was that he looks like Stan. So some people thought that Stoic was actually a monster that just looked like Stan. If you're a monster, you're not getting sent to jail. And you see his bat, right, in the locker of the jail. One of the lockers that you see as you're entering the jail. So they confiscated it from him. You don't see Stoic in the jail. Of course not. There's only regular looking people in the jail. So why Stoic looks like Stan? It's a mask. It's a mask. And, I mean, of course, they took it off of him when he went to jail, and that's why you don't see him in the jail. But why was he looking like that specifically is because he was copying the look of Stan, the real monster that's actually terrorizing more than just our character. But he seems to have an interest in our character because it seems like every night he's getting attacked by this one monster. And I mean, our doctor sure ain't, because he thinks we're crazy. Oh, I hate this maze so much. Oh, right as I say that, I finish it. Cool. Nice. Is there any sound to this game? I swear, I think... Oh, I remember. This game was made a while ago, and then that sound update happened where you had to, like... What was it? It basically stopped all sounds from playing unless it was yours or was... Oh, is that Stan? I see Stan. Come here, Stan. Come over here, buddy. Come. Hey. He's actually targeting that person. So if he looks away, then Stan will come towards us. Hey, Tack, look backwards for a second. Yes. Hi, Stan. Oh. Hey, buddy. So that's Stan. So in this game, I'm theorizing that we're in the real world right now. So, yeah, there he is. The one monster that chases you throughout the dark levels of the game. Oh. Yeah, he'll jump scare you. I don't know if... Does his scream still work? I hope so. That would suck if it didn't. Could he chase me now? So yeah, he targets only one person at a time. So if you're playing this game by yourself, that's when you get it like every 15 seconds. He just jump scares you with a scream. It sucks. Now let's see where he goes now. I don't know. Anyway. He's targeting someone else, so it doesn't matter if I'm looking at him or not. Oh, he ran off to his next victim, apparently. He goes really quickly. And There's also another monster in this game that people talk about sometimes. It's the patient. So there's a part where you go through a different hospital. I don't think it's a hospital. I think it's a psych ward. But I haven't. I've tried to find him for the theory, right? Oh, part of here's a little secret. Not secret, but most people wouldn't try this, but you can fall down here. And this is actually where you find yourself if Stoic captures you. They opened it? Okay, this never used to be open, but I always theorized that Stoic's room was back here. So this is the room that Stoic would capture you in, and then there would be like a little note on the table, a hint up here to how to crack the code, and then if you said the code in the chat, the door would open. Well, actually, gas would spew out and you'd be knocked out. And then you'd wake up in this one room over here that has a chair in it. Not here. You'd wake up here. And right here. This is where you'd wake up. But yeah, this is Stoic's little hideout area. I don't know if that means that they took Stoic out of the game. The developer really changed a lot of this game since it was first released. Which is kind of unfortunate because I think it's for the worse in this case. But there was a lot of theorizing going on that this was Stoic's area. But that kind of makes it blatantly obvious. Yeah, so the patient had no face. That was the weirdest thing. Had no face. And would chase you, and if it touched you, you would die. Also, shout out to license plate Earth is Flat. Kind of got in a crash here, so yeah. The patient would kill you if it touched you. People were theorizing that it looked a lot like your doctor. Because the doctor you see in this game is from past events that you see in dream sequences in Chapter 3. There's a lot to comprehend here. I know, but I'll try to show you guys once I get there. But the doctor you see in this game is a dream sequence, so it's been in the past that the doctor looked like that. So some people theorize that the person in the psych ward is actually your doctor from back then. Might be because maybe your doctor started getting chased by the same monster. Not sure. But I could not find him for the life of me. I went into the psych ward because I've seen him. I've died to him before in the past. Hello. Yeah, it's sewer time now. I hate the sewer time. Oh, hi, Stan. Hi, buddy. You can touch Stan. He doesn't hurt. He doesn't bite unless you're not looking at him. Anyway. Yeah. I think... I've explained most of the theory already before I even got to the areas I'm talking about. But main gist, character don't have schizophrenia. It's all just misdiagnosis of the older times when mental disorders were misunderstood. Plus, no one really thought that he was your character was getting chased by monsters. Where did you come from? Anyway. And it adds such a sadness to the story, I believe, once you look at it that way. They were teasing that something was going to happen, like a big event was going to happen at the end of Chapter 3, but it never got finished. The whole idea was that there's going to be a jailbreak, and you were going to be part of the jailbreak getting out. And there was tensions in the jail of who was going to betray you, stuff like that. Nothing really to the theory that I'm talking about today at all. It was just kind of just part of the story. But I really was wondering where the developer was going to go with this. And I think it had a lot of potential to continue. Unfortunately, he's not willing to let anyone continue it for him either. That was kind of saddening to me too. He wants to keep his IP, which is understandable, but I would have loved to see some, like I believe that no one should claim that they're should take claim of his first and second game, but if someone could make a game that's, continues the story, but in their perspective of how it should have gone. That would have been cool. But developer, I don't think would have liked that too much. I hate this maze too. It's just really long, and I always take the wrong. I just go left usually. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to complete by going just left. So we should be getting closer because I've been here for a little bit. But why is my chat not open? There we go. Oh, Fraud, you saw Stoic, huh? Yeah, I will look at the sign at the end, Frauditor. I will look at that. There's a funny Easter egg you can find at the end of a hallway. It's so scary. Oh, hey, Tack. I was like, who's behind me? Yeah, this game is completely different when you're all by yourself. And I'm not sure. The scream... If someone has been scared by... In the server, if someone's been scared by Stan... Do you hear the scream, or is that silent now because of the sound update to Roblox? A lot of old games got killed by that update because of the sounds not appearing anymore. And there's all a copyright issue with Roblox, with copyrighted sounds being used, and that's why they kind of cracked down very harshly on sounds. It affected my game too. There we are. There's the ending. What do you get out of the sewers now? Gross. Gross sewers. So this is the hallway that at the end has a very, very scary sign at the end. Or very, very scary text on the back of the sign. So this is where you finish chapter 1. You go in there and it ends it. This is kind of like your home or apartment. So at the end of this hallway, if you keep on going, on the back of the sign is something really scary. Your mom. Got him. Yeah. Very scary, am I right? Very nice Easter egg of the developer to add into the game. Because usually people would enter here and end the chapter, but that's what you do if you continue. So it sends you to chapter 2. I wonder if the audio here works. Because there's a whole intro that uses audio. Well, that's he created the audio, so it should work. Oh. Again, so remember when I was saying that the developer there was glitches with the chapters? Yeah, I didn't start at the beginning. I started at the very, well, excuse me, this is halfway through chapter 2. Because this is the exit. I'm supposed to go that way. But this is the... Oh, see? This happens to Frauditor too. Excuse me again. This is the exit to what I think is the psych ward. So the patient should be in here. But I can't find him ever. Because I stayed in here for like an hour. Because the patient is supposed to... know that you're in the maze and chase you from wherever you are. So like if it's at the other side of the maze, it will traverse the maze to find you. I think he took him out of the game because I stayed here for an hour in one spot and he was not coming. It's kind of sad. I'm gonna look at the chat for a second. If I get killed, my mom is quite scary, to be fair. Noir in the YouTube chat. Thanks for Noir for saying you missed my content. I miss doing this too, guys. I really appreciate all of the people that are in the stream right now. So because I know I stream very inconsistently, if you guys want to know when I stream next and get a notification on your phone, hit the bell icon after you subscribe. That will let you know my terrible stream schedule when I stream. Hello, Cyrus. What's up, Fraud? What's up, Lotus in the Identity Fraud 2 server? Just wanted to shout out that as well. Yeah, we're not going to find the patient in here. It makes this maze really annoying because this maze is actually quite long. And it's very repetitive. Like you might think, well, the other mazes are repetitive too, but this one's like You swear you've seen this hallway 10 times before. 100 times maybe, because look at how it splits off so often. You never... Oh, I was like, is that the patient? But this is actually... How did I get here so fast? You know how long it takes me to get to the exit? This is the entrance. How did I get here so fast? There's actually a code you have to do here to get through. The words it says in the audio. It actually, you take the first letter of those words that it's saying, and then you say it in the chat, and then open the door. So like, E-I-G-H-T. Eight. So T-W-O-2. So yeah, that's how you get through that door. It didn't take me too long to figure that one out when I first played this for the first time. So I just stayed left, didn't I? I just stayed left. Well, that was a very simple way to complete this stupid maze, right? I did just stay left. I've taken half an hour to beat this maze, and we just went through it in like a minute. Going the opposite direction, mind you, but nonetheless, still only a minute. Trying to think if there's any more theories that I've developed over the 2 years since it's been I last streamed a theory for this game. Oh, there was... Wow. Okay, I know how to complete this maze now. I don't know why I haven't figured this one out. Oh, also, shout out back to Earth is Flat. Also crashing into this as well. Apparently it wasn't totaled, but from before. We continue this. We go to a really annoying maze that I hate. It's the worst one of the game. It takes me so long. But this one, I will not accidentally get to the end quickly. Like, this one is evil, evil. But we're actually heading back to... We didn't see the start of the chapter, so you guys don't know what's happening if you haven't played this game. But basically, we got a phone call that said, hey, you have a doctor's appointment at, like, this o'clock. So our character's like, okay, I'm gonna go. Even though he just raced out of there, like the previous morning. I believe it's just because of Stan, but... Anyway, he's going back to the hospital. And we get there, and they'll be like, oh, we didn't have an appointment for you. Now your character's like, what is going on? And one of the things is that when you get the phone call that's saying that you have an appointment, the person on the other end says their name is... What is it? Oh, no, I don't remember his name anymore. Well, the person on the other end gives their name. And so then that's kind of the bad guy. He asks for your credit card. Oh, Travis. It's Travis. Thank you, Frauditor. Travis. His name's Travis. He asks for your CSC, which is important. You don't give that out to people. Basically, your identity kind of gets... Well, maybe not your identity per se, but your credit card identity kind of gets stolen. So not good for the person. This is probably adding to his paranoia. Remember, the theory is saying that he's being chased by monsters. He's already paranoid to the max. So, oh, yeah, no wonder it's called Identity Fraud. The only reason why the first game was called Identity Fraud was because of that monster that is called Fraud and steals your identity. But they actually added it into this game. So this is the maze we actually entered into in the first chapter. It's blocked off. Yeah, because of Stoic. He got sent behind the bars. Don't do bad things. And we will meet him, but I'm theorizing like which person in jail he is. Stoic. Still don't know. It was probably going to be revealed later, but it just never finished. I walked up to the front desk about a minute before 9. The appointment was at 9, apparently. blah, 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 greets the man, talks to him. They'll say, you don't have an appointment. Yeah, so they know the person because he's probably a regular, because they're thinking he has a mental disorder, probably. It is interesting, though, that the person already knew his name. That is a hint that he goes to the hospital often, which is unfortunate. You don't have an appointment for today. So you just got your credit card number stolen. Nice. The CSC. So they didn't ask for like the whole credit card number, I don't think, but they asked for your birthday and all this other stuff. Someone said Lotus said something into the game chat. I think it might be a mix of both theories. Like the character has schizophrenia and he's being chased by Stan, but they don't believe him because he's schizophrenic. That could be too. That would make sense of why they don't believe him. I mean, yeah, it could be. It really could be. I still think it's a misdiagnosis. And the mazes are more just for the gameplay and not actually because he has a mental disorder. But that is a good idea, and I like to hear those type of things. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm right, and I'm not saying that anyone else is wrong, but it's just hard to know when the developer doesn't help. He doesn't explain anything of his intentions, like a good developer should when it comes to theorizing. He wants to keep the theorizing going. But man, I wish we could get some explanation after the game has been discontinued. In the last stream, he actually joined into my chat. That was pretty cool. But I don't know if he's active at all anymore. If I magically get to the end here, I will be so happy. But this usually takes me an hour to complete. Like literally an hour. I am really bad at this maze. So. Or the area he lives in just likes mazes. Yes, I believe he's just the community around him just loves mazes so much, and it just probably adds to the character's paranoia. There's really no explanation of what this part of the game is. I am not sure myself. So, we left the hospital, right? We just get teleported to this area. There's no continuity to why we're over here. And, like, what is this? Like, where are we? We're in just back alleyways? I'm not sure. We're in the rain. This kind of sucks. Character's getting wet. But this is actually, once you get to the end of this maze, this is when the whole sequence goes down of why you get sent to jail. Not good. So if you don't want to see that scene, I'll warn you when it comes. But it happens. So actually, it's like a long hallway like this, where at the end is the door, but it's not this one because this one's too long, I think. Yep. So at the end, there would be one of these doors will be open, and then you have to go through there. The first time I played this, it actually took me 2 hours to get through this maze. The reason was because I got to that dead end and was like, there's nowhere for me to go. I didn't realize that one of these side doors were open that I was supposed to go through. Wow. The pain. When I realized that, I'm like, could have made that a little bit more obvious. Yeah, was this a loop? I'm not sure. Anyways, so chapter 3 has always kind of bugged me because it takes a big turn to how the game is played out. Whole game, you're going through mazes, whatever. I actually don't mind that, and I wouldn't have minded it if it continued like that. But no, let's go this way. Nope, never mind. This way. You're right. Oh, I might have juked. Oh. Wait. I don't want to go back in a circle again, though. I believe that's what was happening. Yeah, I'm going to go back. I thought I saw some for a second. I was confused. So go over here. Well, it's not a hallway. It's a long path that's a dead end at the end, and then there's a door that is open, like this one. But I don't think it's this one, is it? Because there's no way I'm there already. Corridor? Whatever this is, it's like a alleyway. I don't know. Corridor? I don't know. I don't think this is it. This is too long. Yeah, it turns. That's unfortunate. Is this the same one we were at before? Because that would mean we're going in circles. But yeah, so chapter 3 is completely different in how the game is played. There's nights. You're not doing a maze. You're just in the jail, and you just have to talk to everyone that's in the jail. And then once you do that, then you talk to these certain 2 people. And is this it? You end the day, and then you go to sleep, and then that's when the dream sequences happen. And then there's a 3 days, I think it is, in jail, and that's when the game ends. Frauditor, that's mean. May you wander in these alleyways forever. I don't want to. This ain't fun. This is the worst part of the game. There's no monster in this. This is it. Wow. This is what I missed the first time I played this game. I got here and was like, oh no, it's a dead end, and just walked away. And we completed this in record time. Oh yeah, so here's the act. So note, this is where the scene will happen when question mark murder happens. Still not sure if it's actually a murder or not, and I'll explain why once I get into the jail. But we have to take these planks out. And here's the monsters that chase us. Or chase us. That we have to axe. They appear around the corners, so I'm going to start running backwards. I can't remember when they start appearing. Maybe here? Yep. Yeah, so see that glowing thing? Yeah, that damages you and kills you. Don't want that to happen right now. So you just kind of have to start running backwards when they appear. Somehow not getting damaged, but that's the thing that our character is kind of afraid of right now. So I think there's one more here. Okay. Nope. Oh, there's going to be at the end of this, whatever this is, we will have 2 of them pop out at you, or 3 maybe. I'm just trying to concentrate because I have died here before. I'm doing pretty good. I don't know if the developer changed something, because they're not hurting me. That doesn't normally happen. But you see that one all the way there? It's standing still. Yeah, that's the person. So, warning, this is the scene. So if you guys don't like even a very mild video of someone hitting someone with an axe, they don't actually show the person really, just a hat maybe. But viewer, just a warning. You can, I'll tell you guys when it's over. So ready, set, hide if you don't like it. You attack it. Scene happens. Oh, it doesn't even show the person apparently, but yeah, oh, it does, and there's blood. So yeah, hopefully, and yeah, there's the person. It really does show it. It shows it pretty. And in the police are right there. They got there like within seconds, record speed. See, it sends you to chapter 3, and the chapter glitch happened again and sent me to the very end of the chapter. So let's restart the chapter here. Ba-doop. Oh yeah, so it's done now. You can look again, but so there's blood, but there's a little theory here that maybe you didn't actually kill that person. It looked pretty obvious there in the scene if you looked at it that you did. because there was blood and it was an axe and it was a human being, and you know, human beings don't do so well with axes being thrown at them. We'll talk inside. I wish we could talk, man, but now is not the best time. Stay safe. Oh yeah. So what you have to do here is everyone has like a little dot over their heads, and that shows if you talk to them or not. And to continue through, you got to talk to everyone. Sometimes you can find little Easter eggs in the windows. I can't remember I don't think there's any here. And there's invisible walls if you try to go out anywhere here. These guys don't like you. Oh, this guy doesn't talk to you at all, I don't think. Nope, he does. See those three over there? They like things you don't. Isn't that the weirdest sentence? This is the guy that doesn't talk to you. This is the guy... I don't know. I'm still trying to think of which one of these is probably Stoic, but... I'm not sure. We're busy, we're busy. We're a little busy right now. They're all... You literally didn't get anything from those people talking, but that's what you have to do to get this door to open. So... I wish a developer added some more substance to the chat. Oh, also your character. So this is another person in the game. You get a prisoner outfit. So I have a prisoner outfit on right now, but you can't see because it's first person, of course. Yes, so you can look through here. There's been theories of what's on... I think it's funny. There's been theories of what's over here because people think these documents in the window are important. They really aren't because they're actually a reoccurring thing in this game. Oh. Oh, no. Dang, I didn't mean to go through here as early as I did. Hopefully this isn't... I don't know if this is copyrighted or not, so I'm turning it. Well, actually, I don't have monetization on, so it doesn't matter. So you can input your name, and I've always theorized that there was something you could put in here to have something happen. The developer told me that this was just so that it didn't, if you had a very long username, that when people were talking to you, it wouldn't have to spell it out every time. Still looking for a name that changes something that happens in this game. Like, you know, Alice or Stan. I try to change it to one of the in-game names that we've heard before. Nothing happens. I'm very sad. But it's actually interesting how many names he has in here. He must have gotten a database of names that it auto selects for you. So like I put in the A, it suggests Abigail, but I can continue it. And this autofill though is interesting. And if you put in something that it doesn't have, it won't do it. So unfortunately, it has Alice. So I was looking for, you know, the name that might be... I was going to put Gregory because it literally doesn't matter. Well, actually, I might ask... Well, yeah, I'll just do Gregory. That is correct. Sure. Fine. Chat, in-game chat says, I think we killed him if it weren't for one of the guys saying... Yeah. So that was what I was actually going to go into, Lotus. One of the guys in the prison asks how you got in there. You say, I murdered a person. And the guy's like, oh, why? There's no, like, they act like you're kidding because they say there's no way that a murderer would be put into a low security prison, which is what we're at here. I agree with that for the most part. But it's actually interesting that you might have not actually murdered him, so that's why you got sent here. But if you look into this locker, you see a bat, and this is the same model that Stoic holds in his hand when he knocks you out, and that's why there's a theory that some people say that one of the police officers is Stoic. No, I don't think so. I think it's one of the prisoners. I've seen the whole police officer theory before. It wouldn't make sense, though, because why would they have locked up the area? So this is the same billboard with the same documents you can see in that window that I was talking about before. Everything's way too blurry to actually read what it says, and it's not important at all. I've tried doing reverse image searches on these locations, Still can't figure out where they are from or what they are from. Can't do it. I don't know. It's too blurry. There used to be... Maybe it's in the next hallway, but there used to be a poster with something else on it. And there's nothing to look through here. It's just continuing to your jail cell, basically. Yeah. So this is something that I was like, ooh, this looks like a theory, or, you know, like, what is this symbol? This is actually just a music artist that the developer liked, so he added, like, a little shout out to them. If you search that up, it's very unknown. I had to do some digging to even find out that they're like a music artist or group or something like that. But yeah, you have to talk to this dude. He'll open the door for you. Don't know why the developer added this. Because it's just annoying. And then you get sent to the jail cell by teleporting magic. Day 0. So that was, I explained why, one of the parts of why I think that our character didn't actually kill the guy that we got to get into jail. And there's another reason. I'm trying to think of what that was now that I theorized a while back. Oh yeah. So one of the dream sequences, okay? It's really weird because it's supposed to be a dream sequence, but someone, who is it? Identity. I'm just going to refer to this person as the name as Identity because that's what people believe it is. But there's a character that talks to you in your dream sequence, and they say the person, you know, they're referring to the person that you asked, but they say they're not doing so good. Well, no duh, first of all, but secondly, you wouldn't say that to someone who's dead. You wouldn't say, oh, they're not looking so good. No, that would mean they're still alive, right? And what I really think is that the axe that you had in your hand was not actually there, and you just beat the person up with your fists. I don't know. A mini theory. Well, you guys can digest that all you want. You can totally disagree with me. I'd be fine with that one. Andre is supposed to be your kind of buddy, you know, let's be friends, but don't trust anyone else type of guy. Andre always says that everyone's trying to scare you. Don't listen to them. They're trying to scare you. Blah, blah, blah. Believe in me. And I feel. Oh, yeah. If you say I feel, he says stop that, which I find funny because you're not supposed to feel, apparently. Gus and Greg have the same outfit as you. Yes. That is true. There's also so many theories about Andre because Andre, you know, he acts like you're going to be buddies with him, but there's people that think that he's actually the bad guy. I swear I've talked about this before, and I apologize if some of the people watching this live stream have heard this theory before, but this was my big theory that it was like a fun theory. How about that? That I don't think is true, but is very interesting. If we go with the consensus that monsters actually exist in this universe, especially if Stan exists, I believe something is going on in these security prisons, or this prison itself. If you look over here, and this is part of the theory, if you look over here, you see 2 security guards or officers standing over a body, right? No, I did see Andre's story of why he got locked up, but can we believe Andre? I don't know. I also forget, I think you have to give a certain dialogue sequence to actually get him to tell you his story. I always mess that up. I got it one time, but I do remember it a little bit. It wasn't his fault, or I mean, he did something bad, but it wasn't his fault for He was like the getaway car and got busted somehow. Someone ratted them out or something, and he was just a getaway. Or I think he was the getaway. I can't remember. But that person on the ground, back in the days where if you disconnected from Roblox, like by disconnecting your internet, you could walk through walls. Weird, but it happened. And I actually walked through this to look at what they're looking at on the ground. Like the person looks exactly the same as this person, I believe. It was one of these two. I think it was them. And that got me thinking, like, was the developer just... I mean, you can't see the person, right? But again, if you can't see the person, why would they put a hair model on the character? You know, he could have got away with not putting hair model. So, you know, there's a idea of just he was just reusing a hair model for one. But again, it could be that they look exactly the same, and they're supposed to look exactly the same. What if monsters... Okay, think about this. What if fraud is also real, okay? What if fraud is a real monster in this game? It's not just Stan, but also fraud. And there is either multiple of them, or I don't know, maybe multiple. And every day... Okay, and this is a crazy theory, okay? This is my last theory of this stream. And it's kind of a throwaway one. It's just a fun one. But every day, everyone starts talking less. Like, they just stop talking. This person, I think this is the one that... Yeah, he never talks. Okay. Maybe he does at the end. I can't remember. But everyone's an alternate. Yeah, everyone, every day, people are getting converted into... Or, you know, being swapped with frauds. And this whole prison is just a whole experiment of... Or a replacement facility, basically. And that's the theory. Not much to go off of. Very far-fetched. But I like it because I think it's interesting that this character looks exactly the same as one of them, and the one that it does look like doesn't talk ever. Also, yeah, they all stop talking at the end. Like, you go to each one and they just do ... Nice dancing. And yeah, that's really the end of my theories. Like, there's not much I can go more onto with the theory. But hi, Abby. Can I friend you? I can. I don't know what your username is, though. So if you want to let me know what that is, I can friend you. I have a lot of friends that are gone over the years, so I can... also, I think I have some room for friends, too. Lore Master, sorry for being so late. No problemo, Lore Master. I'm glad you are here. Unfortunately, I don't know how long you sent that chat, but this is kind of the end of the stream. I'd love to hear your guys' theories on the game, too, though. Because there's so many... I mean, this game leaves up a lot for, you know, the user to make up theories, I guess. There's a lot of room. Multiple theories can be made about the same evidence, and people go different directions with it. Like either schizophrenia, misdiagnosis. There was someone who said it wasn't schizophrenia, but it was like narcolepsy. Was that what someone said before? Dream theory. Someone thought that Identity Fraud 2 actually came before Identity Fraud 1 in the timeline. I think that's been proven that's not true. Anyway. Yeah, this is one of my favorite games, if you guys haven't realized. This is the game that my channel actually kind of grew up from. I'm still Identity Fraud out from playing it so often in the past. So I'm going to come back to this occasionally. But this was kind of like, hey, here's all the things I thought about over the past 2 years in my mind in past time of what my theories were for this game. Stan is real. Fraud might be real. Stoic is mimicking Stan. And yeah, Alice is a sense of betrayal, I guess. That's also something I've added to the theory list. But if you guys have any ideas for like Ralph or anyone else, I'd be all ears for that. Before you guys leave, don't forget to hit that like button or subscribe if you haven't. That would be very nice, but you don't have to. And hit the bell notification. If you are subscribed, hit that. If I don't stream or post too much, so you won't get notified crazy. And this is the last week I have to really live stream freely. I might start doing it once or twice a week after this next week. So if you guys are just popping in, sorry, this is the end of the stream. I will be probably streaming this next week as well, but maybe not every day as I have been. We'll be streaming probably Isles. I did look into that. It looks like a very interesting game. I'll be playing Isles. If you guys have any recommendations for streams, I'm all ears for that as well. Sorry, Lore Master. Yeah, so no problemo getting here late. I'm glad that you could make it at all. Yeah, so this is... I have nothing more to talk about, and the end of this game really... I've already talked about all of what happens in the future of this chapter. The Doctor is a very interesting one. I'll end with this. The Doctor has a very interesting dialogue tree, and I've been always trying to figure out if there was something special hidden you could find by choosing the right responses in the right order, because there's ways to make him stop talking really quickly and end the night, and there's ways to get him to talk a lot more, and there's actually some interesting details in there. But I couldn't find anything lore-based, really. It was just more of talking about the character just being like, why are you so quiet? Our character apparently doesn't talk ever. So that's also something. Everyone... Okay, so you can talk to these people, but later, people will be like, dude, you never talk. It's like, what? We respond. I don't... It might also be something like our character thinks we're responding, but we're actually not. And it's actually interesting, though, because the people we talk to, our responses do not change what they say. Not at all. Except for on the bus ride there to the... You didn't see that scene because we shortcut through it accidentally because of the chapter glitch. But there's so many mini theories that we could say, like our character doesn't talk at all, and he might be either... I don't know. You could even say he might be a fraud. Who knows? In Identity Fraud, you run from Stan, but in Isle, you kill him? Oh, that's interesting. Can't wait to do that. Stan... Well, no, Stan's the man. I think that's what I used to say. Stan's the man. If you're always... He's so aggressive. I can't believe we didn't see him too much in this game playthrough, but if you play by yourself, he annoys you so bad. And Stan, I always joke that if you're lonely, you can always turn around and Stan will be there for you because he's always following you. Stan, the man with the plan. Mr. Stan with the plan. Yes, Nor. I agree with that. Well, I'll see you guys later because I'm just rambling on now. Yeah. So I'll stream either tomorrow or Tuesday. We'll see. I'll set it up so you guys can see. But don't forget to hit that bell icon. Stay fast, stay speedy, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Love to have you here. Thanks for everyone that joined into the servers as well. See ya. Oh, I didn't hit the button. I'm going to hit it again. Bye.